Thank you. That's on our new album called Images, and what, is that a place that starts with the 2 H's?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sing well together, harmonize.
Harmonizing, and it kind of a
big dome, no.
the house.
Yeah.
Harmonizing in the house. But anyway, we have one heck of a show for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. One that you won't believe. We have an entertainer here that is
established throughout the years.
Yes, yeah, in the Detroit metro area, and I think all around the country. He goes by the name of Phil Marcus Esser. Let's welcome him up, Phil.
The one and only Phil Marcus Esser.
Welcome to the Coffeehouse Cafe. So I'll give you some time to get your microphone straightened out over here.
Let's make sure I got this straight. You are Joe.
Yes.
And you are Joe. Right. Okay.
Welcome again. Well, how many questions do we have for him tonight? I'll tell you.
What sign are you? No.
I'm a Scorpio rising, I guess.
Now, as we all know, this is more or less a folk show. But we know, through experience and watching your act many, many times over, you're not considered a folk artist anymore, or would you consider yourself a folk artist?
Oh, I guess the word folk is kind of all-encompassing in a way, so I would not...
It's an ambiguous type of...
Yeah, I would accept that, folk. Cabaret singer. They've called me an awful lot of things throughout the years.
Some that we can't say over the microphone right now, but regardless of that...
I remember there was one thing you said to us. We were at the Woodbridge Tavern. You had just gotten off from, I think, Tremonti's at the time. And you said, no more minstrel singers, no more troubadours. And that's one thing that always stuck in my mind. And it's something that we in the community, I feel, has to work out and bring that back.
There aren't very many forums left, especially in Detroit, compared to what there used to be, for people to come to our city and sing their songs and trade ideas and thoughts and feelings. And that was the wondrous thing about the 60s.
When was the time that you went to theatrical production, such as a Jacques Brel?
Well, that all happened quite by accident. I had a theater background before I became a folk singer. I guess I was a rock and roll singer with a theater background when someone talked me into trying directing and producing the Brel Show. And I sort of was impelled into that whole format.
That was Mercy College.
How long did that last?
Well, the Brel Show ran for 1 year and 3 months, and then Personals, which followed that, was 1 year and 4 months. And I thought that's the way it was always going to be, that you do a show and you perform it for a couple of years, but that's not always true.
Oh. Now, your association with Charlie Latimer and Barbara Bradius, was that always a threesome? Was that an accident? How did that develop?
Yeah, everything's an accident. I'm sure Joe and Joe was a wondrous accident. Yeah. We're accidents.
More so than you know.
Tonight it's probably an accident.
Don't let out the secrets.
Yes, I had been working with Charlie Latimer for 2 or 3 years. We had a musical comedy act, and we worked the Detroit area, and we even went to Hollywood for a while. And while we were waiting for a big break, the opportunity came up to do the Brel Show. So we asked Barbara to join us then, 1973.
How did you know her? You just knew her through reputation around town, or
yes, she had came to Detroit in 1969. She came here from Salt Lake City with her husband, who was going to start work at Ford's. And she had been singing in Salt Lake with a musical group, and I thought it was a great testimony. They found out she was moving to Detroit, and they got in their bus and drove to Detroit so they could work with her here.
Wow. Okay, now, Barbara's song, and I know we're talking a lot about Barbara right now, but you directed that, didn't you?
Yes. In Barbara's case, I should say, Barbara and I co-directed that show. You don't really have to do much with Barbara Bradius other than give her a song and some musicians, and she'll take over from there. But we collaborated on the effort.
And same thing with Sisters in 1940s?
Yes. Most of the shows for the last 5 or 6 years have been either writing and directing and producing and performing in, or some combination of that.
These shows have been at Tremonti's, by the way. That's where you had your base
Tremonti's in downtown Detroit, right?
Right. Okay, now, more or less, the Focus Hope concerts. How did you get involved with that?
Oh, I think that was 1969 also. It was a phone call from a friend, Dario Panucci, who had gotten involved with this organization, and he asked if I'd come and sing for a fundraiser.
Now, was that more or less the old Raven Gallery crowd of, like, you and maybe Josh White Jr.?
Dean?
Yes.
Dean Rutledge?
Often it would be the Raven Gallery acts, but often it would just be the people who were working local. Had you been around then, they would have called you.
Well,
sure.
we've seen quite a few of the Focus Hope concerts, and they're just amazing.
Your name came up, but you were too young, we decided.
What are your current plans at this time?
Yeah, what are you doing right now?
Oh, I'm working on a sesquicentennial theme show.
Sesquicentennial?
I say 150-year anniversary.
My teeth
birthday.
are loose. I did say it, though. And I'm working on another show for Barbara and Charlie and I. We're still playing with various themes. And bringing Michael Smith into Detroit for appearance at the Raven Gallery.
Terrific, terrific.
And I'm trying to get a record played by a friend by the name of Barbara Dane, who's a blues singer, a fabulous blues singer, who has sort of been out of the business for a while. She has a new record out called Gippergate. That is, of course, about the Iran scan, and it's a great blues number.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a real short break, and we're going to get Mr. Phil Marcus Esser up here to entertain us and troubadour us to where we can't take it anymore. So stick around, and we're going to be right back. Thank you.